Om Vasudeva Shutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagadgurum. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We salute the world teacher, Jagat Guru, Sri Krishna, who is the son of Vasudeva and destroyer of the demons, Kamsa and Chanura, and their most dear and darling to Mother Devaki. Om peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we are today to start with the 18th chapter of this Bhagavat. The book I am reading that has the page 80. So what we read the other time, the sutta, the narrator was describing that this is the bad time. This Bhagavan, the Lord Krishna, who has come down in a human form, he has left his body. And as soon as it left, all the evil forces, they raised their hood. Like now, you see what is going on all over the world. Look at that, the human mentality, what is going on. So, and then, so again to bring back as if the righteousness, which is called dharma, and every person has his own duties and responsibilities, they forgot. People are behaving which is unmannerly, selfish, cunning, hateful, sinful. So this is a very worst time. So King Pariksit, then knowing that, he made a yajna, and he there after the yajna he started the holy blessing to come for him. Pariksit said these words when he found that this evil force, which is called the Kali, we call Kali Yuga, is the Iron Age. Iron Age means where dharma, the righteousness, is reduced, as if like a dharma appeared before him like he saw a scene, a dharma, that a bull stands on the 4 legs, but now the bull has lost other 3 legs. The righteousness and good time is gone, and this is the Kali, the bad time. So all the 3 support of the bull, which is dharma, righteousness, is gone and lost. So feeling that, and also see the Mother Earth is weeping and crying and seeing the condition of these children who live in the world, because when unrighteousness raises its hood, naturally all the good people get punished unnecessarily. Now this son of this Pariksit, he was the king that time. So he then opened his sheath, unseat took sword in his hand, and looked like Yama, the god of death himself, Kali, the embodiment of all unrighteousness, standing before him, and seeing Parikshit's valor and strength, he became little fearful. Kali became fearful. And submitted, out of fear, he submitted to the king, the emperor, Pariksit. Emperor, I am willing to stay wherever you order me, but in every place I dwell, I am sure to see the spectre of your armed with bow and arrow. So Pariksit is going to destroy this evil. So embodiment of that evil is the Kali. And as the arrow and bow and arrow is targeting him, he goes. So he surrendered to the Pariksit and said that wherever I go, I will give me some place to live. And he surrendered at the feet of the emperor or king Pariksit, grandson of Arjuna. So, but a good person always forgives. So Pariksit forgave him, not killed, but forgave him. And then he begged for, give me some place to live. Where shall I live? So Suta said, being besieged by Kali, he gave him 4 places to stay where this dark negative force will reside. No? He said, you cannot reside in my kingdom. Get out, because you are troubling our people with negativity and all these things. So he gave 4 places to stay in. These are the places where where is gambling. He already will stay where there is gambling. He will stay where there is drinking of intoxicants, and he will be debauchery and slaughter take place. So 3 places is your place. That means not in every place. So those people who are weak and having this type of, there is the negativity lives there. The age of Kali, dark age, remains there. So when the Kali pleaded for one more place, for him to stay in, the clever Pariksit gave him another place. And what is that? Lust, gold as the 5th seat. The whole world is fighting with gold, no? Russia is fighting for what? Getting the wealth of the treasure house, so that they will be. So there is, you live. So 5 places. That means you can, what a beautiful idea that we want to see anything evil and we want to be good, we have to avoid these 5 places, or 5 moods, 5 mentalities. One is the mentality that to gamble and get rich, and by that point, so Las Vegas is our very good example. People go with tons of money and go on playing and playing and exhaust everything. By chance, one may hotspot. Everyone thinking that I will get the what do you call hot jackpot. I'll get the jackpot. But by that, with that hope, they exhaust everything. So gambling. Second point is that in drinking of intoxicants, no, that you know, where people have that too much, they lose their mind, they do whatever, they don't understand what is going on. That means it takes away their senses, their understanding, their everything. Third point, debauchery and slaughter, where there is some type of animalistic sacrifice, or people are treated badly, torture and this and that. And the another place he has given, that it is the gold, for which the gold. So these are the 5 places. This unrighteous spirit, what is called the Kali. Kali means the Iron Age. Kali Yuga, this age is called Iron Age. So these are the places. Now it has become prominent now. Kali has expanded in many places. So Kali, the hotbed of all adharma. Adharma, dharma means righteousness. Adharma means unrighteousness. So took his abode in these 5 centers, obedient to the command of Pariksit. So every man who is desirous of his own welfare should not succumb to these 5 places of evil. Though Koli exercises his influence in these places, especially should be avoided by a righteous person who has instructed right living. So Pariksit restored to Dharma, the embodied as bull has 3 lost feet. By what? He gave back, as it were. The bull got the strength now because evil has been withdrawn from all places. It is given, located to these 4, 5 places. So it got back his 3 legs, as it were. So that means the bull can stand now, Dharma. And the society can stand well. So what are those 3? First is the 3 lost feet is that austerity, purity, and fellow feeling. And also comforted the earth and made her prosperous. So this King Pariksit, by destroying the evil of this thing from the society, meaning he ruled in such a way that a heavy punishment will happen to this type of poor, bad tendencies where there is serious. So people become good, the good power then would prevail and the evil forces are subdued. So the dharma again rose up. But he said that as a result, as the righteousness, which was bull, symbolic is the bull, he now stood on the 4 legs. What is the process by which lost feet? All the lost feet came back. 3 things. Life, people should do austerity, should maintain purity, and love for all, fellow feeling. And also comforted the earth and made her prosperous. Naturally, the good people come up means society prospers. Love, fellow feeling, then purity of relationship, purity on suffering for God or austerity in practice. All these noble things become, and the Mother Earth again become very happy with that. So it is this heroic Pariksit has till now been sitting in the royal throne on which he was installed by his grandfather Yudhishthira with the same splendor like that of his Pandavas, that means Arjuna and Yudhishthira, with fame spreading everywhere. That fortunate Pariksit has been ruling on the throne of Hastinapur, that means of India, or as an emperor all over India, he is ruling. Such is the prowess of Pariksit. His father's name is Abhimanyu. So the father, Abhimanyu's son, whose name is Pariksit, such was his prowess. It because of the condition obtaining to in his reign that you have been able to start the long-lasting Brahma Sapta. Anyhow, so now Sutta, the narrator, Sutta said the king had once the good fortune of being saved from his death in his mother's womb by the all-powerful Krishna's grace, even though he was burned by the missile of Asattvama. That is a great story, no? When this Abhimanyu, this Pariksit was in the womb of his mother. Then there the war was going on and the arrow was to kill this Pariksit. Why? So that there will be nobody in the lineage of Arjuna. If he kills that child, then there is nobody to be the inheritor of the king position, emperor position. But Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna, with his special application of power, that stopped that effect of that sending that missile. A missile, anti-missile war, all this like that. So once then this Pariksit was by the Lord himself, Bhagavan Krishna, when he was a baby. He was in the womb of the mother Uttara. By resignation to Krishna, he was able also to rise above all fear at the time of his death, which he met with through the bite of the serpent, Rakshaka, occasioned by the curse of Brahma. There is another story. Again, another type, another death when he was a king. That story, that is the starting of this Bhagavatam also. That when he was the emperor, he went for hunting, as the kings do, go for hunting deer. And he went inside the forest, and then he got really very thirsty and does not know what to go, where to find water. So he went and found that there is a hermit, home of a hermit. So this king then went there and very politely asked the gentleman who was meditating as a Brahmin. So he was meditating and he asked, "Sir, I am very thirsty. Could you give me little drinking water?" But that person, the Brahmin, he was absorbed in deep concentration. So he didn't hear. Then again he politely requested, "Could you please give me a little drinking water?" And third time also. So he was so hungry, thirsty, not hungry, thirsty. And for a little drop of water, the king of the country is begging at you. And you are showing a fit of meditation, no? So he thought, so out of anger, why anger came suddenly? Then he found a dead snake somewhere, and with the arrow, he picked up that and put in the neck of the sage. You know, then he said, "Oh, you're meditating, be like Shiva." Shiva always wears a serpent in the neck, no? So you meditate, you are a Samadhi person, and I am begging for a little water, you cannot give me. So he did that. And that was the cause of another curse came upon him. His boy, his Brahmana boy, he was playing at a distance with his other friends. And when he came back, he saw that dad is still absorbed in his meditation, and the dead snake is hanging on the head, on his neck. So he said, "Who has done this?" Not knowing anything of the context. "Whoever has done that will have to die by this biting of this snake bite. He will have to be, he will be get a bite and he will die out of the bite of this snake."
Only 1 week.
7 days. 1 week, 7 days. 7 days. So, but the king did that and went back and went back. But when these words came back to him, that the Brahman boy has cursed, seeing his father being insulted thus, and when his father came to know, when the son woke up after such a time, he said, "What has happened? What did you do?" "Well, I have cursed. Who has insulted you? My father. Whoever has done, he will have to die within 7 days." And then he said, "Hari, you do not know. He is our king. He is the most benevolent king. And he has restored the spirituality, dharma, and the goodness in the society. And you are cursing him?" Brahman boys are so powerful, whatever they say, truth follows them. That's the beauty of the ancient Brahmanas. So he said, "You withdraw. Please withdraw your curse." But "No, I won't. He has insulted my father, he will have to die." And that, hearing that word, then the Pariksit said that, "Oh, is it?" Yes. So he handed over all the responsibilities of his kingdom to his son. And then he gave up everything there. and only to die, wait for 7 days, thinking of God, so that purifying himself, he will give up this body. So this is the second time he came, and he got the advice, which is this Bhagavat. It is said by who? Shukadeva. Huh? This great sage, Shukadeva, narrated the glories of Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna. So this saved his life second time, meaning that he is saved from death altogether. So this second line, I say this, when you read this book, every line has some story back. It like in movie, sometimes you go flashback. There's flashback stories. So that's why it is interesting. But you have to remember these stories. Sometimes if you don't remember, you don't enjoy the beauty of this great epic. This is not epic, Mahabharata. Becoming a disciple of Vyasa's son Sukha, he cut off all attachments for worldly things. He means this king, Pariksit, and attained to the knowledge of the Lord before he abandoned his body in the Ganga. So he attained, we say that when you attain the knowledge, then you conquer death. So he, Pariksit, conquered death again by listening to the advice of Shukadeva, who is the son of Bhagavan Vyasa, and this conversation, spiritual conversation, that saved him before his death. Those who always speak and hear about the excellence of Lord and who seeks refuge at his feet remain unperturbed even at the time of death. So, suppose you are listening to that, we are listening to that. If we listen to this message with sincerity and love, then our heart will be purified. That's why at the point of death, this ignorance will disappear if you constantly listen to this divine message. So long as Pariksit, the son of Abhimanyu, reigned, the evil Kali, though he had started penetrating everywhere, found it impossible to cause any serious degeneration, as I was telling. No. When this Kali was cornered by the king Pariksit, no? That it will stay only in 5 places. In the gambling place, in the place of all this. So all these places, but not in the society. General society will be free by his own prowess. He did that. And now, again, the king Pariksit is leaving his body, and again Kali raising his view, entering into the home front, into the work front, into the day-to-day life situation of the society, penetrating into the situation. We know that when people in the place, when they go in different place, they have their one style of lifestyle. But we don't see it in the home front, we don't see in the office front, we don't go into the society. Society should be livable for the honest people. No? But again, this Kali raised his hood. No doubt, Kali, the cause of adharma, had made his entry into the world the moment Sri Krishna left it. Bhagavan Krishna left, that time they tried to raise head. And in the following that Krishna's footsteps, when Pariksit was ruling, he curbed them. But again, when he is leaving his body, then again the evil force is penetrating into the society. Pariksit, who was like a honeybee in grasping the essential good in everything, abstained from killing the evil Kali because there is one great excellence. You may say, why King Pariksit did not kill the Kali, the dark age, the dark thoughts upon the totally, why didn't he abolish? Why he gave 5 places for them? Why this compassion? Is it not? That question may come. If he has killed it, then the society would be permanently free from that. But no, what is the benefit of this age? We live in this age. Bad side is this, everywhere rampant. Bad people cheat, they are cheating, they are in a sweet face, sour inside, saying something one and doing something else, and not living with the truthfulness, honesty, sincerity, love, which are the characteristics of a good society. But it is just raising its hood. So Koli, because of the one great excellence, but what is the greatness? Why he didn't kill this Kali totally? That reason is that it is very important for us to know. One great excellence pertaining to this age, in this age, is that whatever good you do, listen, this is a very wonderful word. Whatever good you do, it fructifies immediately. He'll do little spiritual practice, he'll do little living a good life, honest life. You give some charity, love, blessings to others. You will find immediate joy. This is the beauty of this Kali Yuga. It fructifies immediately. That's one part. But not so the evil deeds. People are doing so many bad things. They are not getting punishment so quickly. But you are doing something good, you can get at least in your life, you can find inner peace. So that is the benefit of this. And second part is very important. Besides, in the Kali Yuga, Kali age, sin accrues only to the sinful deeds, but not to sinful thoughts. In our mind, in spiritual life, we find, I want to think of holy thoughts. Unholy thoughts come. What can you do? Well, this is nothing bad. If it comes in your mind, unless it is in action, you are free. This concession is there in this age. In other age, Satya Yuga, mind you thought this bad thought, you will have to get the punishment.
But if you think good thing, will you get the reward?
Satya Yuga, it was there also.
Also,
even you thought something. Satya Yuga means all good people, good competition among the good students to get a plus, a plus grade. And all bad boys, here you get A plus. How? There's little something and you got the A plus. So he says, in this age, the bad thing is that in action, if you do something, you harm someone, you really do something bad, its action will come in your life quickly. And quickly, if it comes, you understand that I did that bad, that's why it has come. No? But if I did something in my last life, I am suffering now. I say, I'm a good guy, why am I suffering? That is really difficult to understand. And consequences that we have in our mind enormous amount of bad samskaras, impressions of different life. Bad thought comes, evil thought comes, anger comes, frustration. These are all mind. But that is no sin. That is not to be considered as sin. As this Bhagavat's opinion. No? The beauty of this is that you do something good, you get a good result. You do something bad, immediately it will do maybe in some time other, or its impact is less. But mental thought is no sin. Koli is like one who is cowardly before the brave, but brave before the cowardly. That happens now. You are a good guy, a bad guy comes and bully you. No? His power is raw. But when police comes or some gunpoint, then he comes down to zero. No? So he holds no fear for the good. Kali, the embodiment of bad, this Kali, holds no fear for the good, but like a wolf, he is always vigilant and alert to pounce upon those who are thoughtless and unobservant. If you are not very careful, these negative forces jump upon you. Negative impact, influence comes upon you. As questioned by you, I have now, it is, you means the king, a rishi. As questioned by you, I have now described to you the sacred story of Pariksit, which is intimately connected with the life and doings of Krishna. So this Krishna's life, this Pariksit, is intimately connected with Bhagavan Krishna, the Lord Krishna. All people who desire higher evolution should drink deep at the spring of the excellence of the Lord, revealed in his numerous actions that are fit to be remembered and comprehended. That means what? How can we live a holy life? You just think of the holy deeds and actions, Krishna's life, Krishna's message, Krishna's playful days, and thinking of God's, what we call the Leela. Leela means divine sports. If you think of that, your mind becomes purified and that will give you liberation. So, therefore, the rishis, now the Rishi said, O Suta, Suta means the narrator, O narrator, you're the gladdener of our hearts. May you live 1,000 years. And for you are broadcasting the excellence of Sri Krishna, which confers immortality on man who hear it. Whoever hear the glorious life of Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna, his mind will be pure. So actually, you are great, O narrator. You are great. You are helping us to keep our mind in noble thoughts. To us who are engaged in this long sacrificial rite of uncertain results, a rite which has made our bodies coal black from the smoke of the sacrificial fires, you are bringing the invigorating drink of divine excellences, the nectar that abides in the lotus of his holy feet. So we are doing sacrificial fire. Early days, people used to perform sacrificial fire. And then that very rigorous spiritual practice. Continuously are in the oblation and the fire, a flame is there. We do 45 minutes some oblation. Actual oblation maybe 10, 15 minutes. Before and afterwards, we start to ignite the fire in the home of fire. No? But suppose day and night you are standing before the fire, huge fire, that your skin will be black skin. Yeah. That's why he's saying long sacrificial rites we are performing, and we do not know even whether it shall reach the result or not. You do some karma, you get the effect. This jagna, the sacrificial fire, you offer oblation to gods, and by the grace of God, you can attain your desired result. But I do not know whether I shall get or not. But O narrator, you are describing this holy story of Pariksit connected with Lord Krishna. I am getting bliss immediately. See, the result of the karma in the sacrificial fire, whether I will get it or not, I do not know. But I am getting immediately the heat of this fire is making my skin dark. Huh? I am doing. But your words are only a peace in my heart. And my love for God is evoked in me. So I am thankful to you. No? A rite which has made our bodies coal black from the smoke of the sacrificial fire. You are bringing the invigorating drink of divine excellence, the nectar that abides in the lotus of his holy feet. That you are thinking, you are bringing our mind into. That's why meditation is much higher. Listening to holy words are much higher. than that of ritualistic performance. Ritualistic performance, you should have to do perfectly. Every item should be there. Suppose our worship time, you see how the nuns do the flower. We bring so much flower. And you go to Seva Prana, Mataji, she picks up the flowers. A little spot here, and throw away. A little there, throw away. Huh? How much sorting out, cleaning, perfectly doing, collecting everything properly, setting in the altar this way, difficult. It will purify our heart. Of course, it is done for God. But when we listen directly, the glory of the Lord, our mind gets saturated with pure thoughts. So that is the great boon for our inner peace. 13th verse. Heaven is not equal in value, even to a small part of what is attained by contact with holy men. That's why it is called heaven. You go to people, every religion talks about heaven, no? Why? Here is suffering, here is old age, here is disease. But what is our concept of heaven? There is no old age. You will be always young. There will be no lack of food. You can get plenty of food, whatever you want to eat. No, your youth will remain forever. So these are the concept. So after death, performing such rituals, you may go to that heaven. But I am feeling this heavenly joy here now. When you are talking about God and nectar-like thing. So heaven even is not equal in value to a small part of what is attained by contact with holy men. And you are a holy person, you are teaching the talk about holiness, about Krishna, Sri Krishna and his life, and Pariksit, how he ruled the country righteously, honestly. So listening to these holy things is giving me the joy more than heavenly joy. Even liberation is not equal to it. That's why it is called holy. Holy association is so valuable. There is a statement, Kshanamiha sajjana shangati reka bhavati bhavarnave tarane nauka. Bhajagovinam. Kshanamapi sajjana. Even for a moment, you get a touch of holy company, holy people talking about God. That impact, even for a moment, bhavati bhavarnava, it has the capacity to take you across the ocean of world and worldliness. And sadhu sangha is like a boat which carries you over the river of the worldliness and takes you to the other shore of liberation. So he says that that's why Ramakrishna in the gospel you will find, he talks about holy company, holy company, holy company. That's why holy company or holy book, reading of the holy book, holy association, lifts our mind, uplifts our mind. That's why he says even liberation is not equal to it. Holy company is giving instant joy. How worthless and ignoble then should be the worldly enjoyments. Now even heaven becomes meaningless. What the question of earthly enjoyments of fun? Who is the worthy connoisseur that will be surfeited with the hearing about the Lord's excellences, which are considered as their secure asylum by all spiritual aspirants? O learned one, you have taken refuge in the Lord, who is the one resort of all great men. Describe the noble and sanctifying deeds of that Hari, Sri Hari, to us, who are so keenly desirous of hearing about it. So he's saying, oh learned one, you are the most person of wisdom. You have taken refuge in the Lord. You yourself have taken refuge in the Lord and describe that noble sanctifying deeds, what the Lord did it. In his childhood, in his adulthood, how he destroyed the demons, how he played with the gopis, with the pure love, and when he was a young child. So, and we are keenly desirous to hear about that. We are here, we wish to hear about that. You please help us. 16th verse. The divine knowledge which the sage Shuka communicated to Parikshita, of vast intellect, and which helped him to attain to the feet of Vishnu, may you be pleased to narrate to us in all details. He is saying that Shukadev, the son of Vyasa, related this story of Krishna and his birth and his divine play. But Pariksit is now gone, Shukadev is gone. This narrator, he was in the congregation and he has a memory, photographic memory. So he is narrating these stories. That's why he is being requested that you give us that wisdom, that stories of the divine sport, so that I can contemplate on them and become free from worldliness. It is coming because meditation are of three types. We talk about this again and again. What are the three types? Is you meditate on the divine form. Say Christ. You meditate. God as Christ is in me. God as Rama is in me. Rama Krishna in me. No? So you think on the divine form, his eyes, his hand, his whole personality, no? The divine personality. Or you can, if mind does not get settled, you can think that this Christ, walking in the Jerusalem, going to the mount, on the mount, and then giving the sermon there. Think of that. You can move with Christ alone. This is called Leela. We can think of Ramakrishna, that in the Dakshineshwar, where he was meditating, was preaching the message of love. So you can think, you can go there, you can sit with him. Mentally, you can go there. This is called Leela, divine play. Who cannot contemplate on the root form, divine form of the personality? You can, all this action, God in action, is moving here, touching someone, singing songs, going to Samadhi, and coming down again encouraging people and bringing joy to everyone. So you can leave your mind in this consciousness. So he's saying that those accounts of divine actions, those accounts of divine actions and excellences are the expression of God's unique spiritual power. And they were imparted to Pariksit. And this for his good and for the edification of all devotees. So this question, this divine sports and all the glorious stories of Bhagavan Krishna was said to Pariksit when he was going in the deathbed for 7 days. 7 days this message was narrated by the sage Shukadeva. And that same story, oh you narrator, you please help us. Because we are not present that time. They do now we are not present there. But we are getting this book because of the narrator, what he spoke. That was again came by generation to generation and was recorded, and we get this record that way. So original speech was given by the sage Shukadeva, the son of Bhagavan Vyasa. Now the narrator said, verse number 18, how wonderful, though myself born in a low family, I have been elevated by the regard you learned and high-born personages are extending to me. Great men can even be, by their words, erase the worrying fears generated by the inferiority complex of a low birth. He's saying, I was born not very highly educated. Only my memory is sharp. I have heard this narration So I am relating that narration. But you are sages, you are so great that you are praising me for this. Therefore, it is you are great. It is humility. How much more must be the purifying and enlivening effect of repeating the divine name of Him who is infinite and omnipotent, who is called endless because He causes the manifestation of endless graces in His devotees, and who is the only support that holy men seek. That means He's saying, you are praising me, but how great is God, whose glory I am going to sing. If you can, this God, Krishna, is not a man. So he says that Krishna, the omniscient, he is infinite. Brahman. That's the point. When people talk about Krishna and make a cult of it, Krishna is the only way, Krishna this. Hare Krishna, don't limit Krishna. Here it is said, what enlivening effect of repeating the divine name of God, who is infinite and omnipotent, who is called endless, Ananta, because he causes the manifestation of endless grace in his devotees, and who is the only support that the holy men seek. All good people only want to take support at the feet of Bhagavan, the Lord Krishna. No? You call Krishna, you call Brahman, you call whatever name you give. Christ, Buddha, whatever. But here is the question of Krishna. So the Krishna devotees make sometimes a very demanding, demanding, proposition that Krishna is the only God, because Krishna is Ananta. Krishna is omnipresent, no? But this Brahman Krishna is Brahman. That is the thing this Bhagavatam is telling, no? So Krishna is not a man. So Krishna is Brahman himself. Enough has been said just to indicate his excellences, which nothing can equal or eclipse. Imagine rejecting the suit of Brahman and other powerful deities who were mad after her heart. See, the goddess of all wealth and good fortune felt attracted by his excellences and sought the humble service of his feet, although he cared not a jot for her. The water which Brahma poured at his feet and which flowed down washing his nails because of the holy Ganga, sacred enough to purify even Shiva, who other than that Mahavishnu, the granter of liberation, deserves to be addressed as the Bhagavan. That means he is saying, who you can think that he is the God, this Krishna is the God himself. So Brahma even and other gods, they take refuge in Krishna. So you have to think that Krishna is the ultimate God and you take refuge in him alone. By intense devotion to his feet, the introspecting sages easily overcome the deep-rooted attachment to the body and into the state of Paramahansa, which is the final of spiritual endeavor, and is characterized by universal love and peace and passive understanding. O great Vedic savants, O sages, in response to your question, I shall tell you what little I know of the subject. But the effort of even the greatest philosophers and theologians to depict Mahavishnu's greatness is limited by smallness of their capacity, just as a small bird's flight is in the immeasurable sky. These are what saying Lord Vishnu is so great, is greater than that of other gods. That means to glorify who is your own chosen ideal, you always glorify, he is the greatest. So others are just offering a salutation to you. So he is saying, ultimate, this book's ideal is Krishna. And he is called Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu means the great Vishnu. Vishnu means who resides in the heaven. He has his four arms, no? Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. Shankha means conch shell in one hand. Padma, the lotus, another hand. Shankha, Chakra. Chakra is the discus. Chakra, Shankha, Chakra. Gada, the mace. And Padma, the lotus. His forehand holds these four things. One, Chakra means the destroy the evil. That's why I call Krishna's chakra. It will protect you. Power. Gada, the mace, to destroy the evil. These are the two for evil. And flower, lotus, and shankha, this conch. These are the signs of auspiciousness and devotion. So this Krishna, they glorified that Krishna is called Mahavishnu. Maha means great. Vishnu is the Lord Narayana. He's the great, great, great Lord. Even Shiva and other gods worship his feet to show the greatness of Narayana. So you can think of your ideal also. My Ramakrishna is the greatest of the God. No? These are all manifestation, question of manifestation of the Satchidananda manifestation. So he says, I'll be very happy to say what I know little, I will relate to you. So the book starts almost here. No, already. So we end here. In discretion of Pariksit, we'll start from verse number 24. So 18th chapter 24, book number 1. We'll start next day. What question?
15 March.
Okay, we end here. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. Now we'll have question answer. Let us see some questions. So Nishant is putting a question. When Ramakrishna left his body, he appeared and said, I have only moved from one room to another. So is it that when Krishna left the body, he did not really leave the world only in appearance? Is the other room the other side of Maya, outside the immanent, or just different layers of subtlety within Maya itself, since Brahman is not different from his Shakti? Yeah, the question is that's why Sri Krishna, as you said, Krishna left the body. Physically, he is not there, no? We don't see the physical body. When Krishna passed away, so his physical body disappeared, means it was cremated or something, as one's body will be done. But the Krishna principle is not dead. Even now people are getting the vision of Krishna. So actually he is in a subtle body. And God keeps these bodies for the welfare of his disciples. Thousands of years may pass. No, Christ is dead or still alive. In one sense, he is dead, is he not? In one sense, he is dead. His physical body is no more. But he is dead, no? Today also. Some saint in the world is having the vision of Christ now at this point. So no, they don't die that way. They are for the good of the world, they keep their subtle bodies. That body works for the liberation of others. You are praying to Krishna, 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 Krishna. God appears in the form of Krishna. Is the physical body? It's not a physical body. It's a divine body. In this pure mental state, you can experience that. And I also heard that they can also appear in the physical body because God has all power. What is the problem of it? So we need not have to think that Krishna being dead means he is physically dead and then dead forever. No one dies, even for us. Even if we die, do we die totally? No. We remain in a subtle body. And subtle body takes another body, no? And again come back to the physical body. Until and unless we become totally absorbed in God. Vedantic way, that I lose my all ego identity with the body, mind, emotion, etc. And ego all merges and then I become one with the Lord. Till then, this coming and going on. And God also, when He comes in a human body, only by the compassion, out of His compassion, He keeps Maya in Him. So, and this rotation of birth and death continues.
So going from this room to that room means gross body to subtle body.
Right. And those subtle body can appear to you when you are intensely meditating on that divine personality. That's why Christ can be even experienced now. And then Rama, Krishna, Chaitanya, Buddha, those who are worshippers in that way, they see even the gods and goddesses. Gods and goddesses, they are already subtle. That's why this question does not come there. But when an embodied being with flesh and bone walked in the ground, for their case, we don't see their body, but they don't give up their body. As Swami Vivekananda said in one place, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna has left his mortal frame, but he has not given up his body yet. He will be working through that body for long period of time to help the humanity, to give them the eternal bliss and peace. So other room means in a subtle body. The other side of Maya, that is the transcendental state. If you say other side of the Maya, where there is no Maya. So there is no Maya, then he is in his own divine absolute state. Omniscient, omnipotent, beginningless, endless, that Brahman state. But when he takes a subtle form, and subtle form takes a good form, so that gross form is gone, but subtle form he remains for the good of the devotees, to give darshan, to guide them, to hold on their spiritual life, to inspire them. No?
There is one more question over there.
It is advisable to stick with one type of meditation or practice, other types as well, like Lila Dhyana. What do you recommend? I think that, as I have heard, that you try what Guru has told you to do, meditate in that same way, but it will be also helpful when the mind is not settling down. You can try this meditation on the Lila, the divine sport. You can think Ramakrishna, you can think Ramakrishna in Dakshineshwar, you can see that he is going to the Kali temple, and you can follow him. Living, your mind will be with Sri Ramakrishna. Then you can enter into the Kali temple with him, then you can find that he is singing Kali song, and singing, he is going into ecstasy and losing his outer consciousness. No? Just all these, as we read in the gospel, so many beautiful occasions we can find out, yes, we can do those meditation, it will help us. That is up to your own choice when you want to do. And you sometimes may also do meditation on the absolute. But we cannot do meditation on the absolute, but we can try thinking of infinite ocean, ocean of joy, ocean of light, ocean of consciousness. These are the ideas given. It is glimpses of Advaita, non-dual. But you cannot think of non-dual because how can you think? Your mind is itself is limited. It will limit everything. But it is you can take advantage of this type of meditation and roam in that meditation, taking a verse of the taking a verse of the Bhagavad Gita or Astavakra Samhita or Vivek Chudamani or some books where inspirational ideas about the non-dual truth is mentioned. You can just keep your mind absorbed in those areas and play, go on. So yes, so it is recommended both ways, both three types of meditation. Everyone can switch one to the other, but preferably, depending on your tendency, you can do more on the form if you are that way. Some people may not be able to focus on the form much. They may be comfortable with this absolute aspect. Not absolute, but whatever so-called absolute aspect. Meditate. And then this part where you can think of the lila, divine play. Okay. Thank you. So that's all. Any question more? No more any question. Okay.
7:30 class.
Acha, this today we'll have the class again at 7:30, and that will be Shanti Gita, the Song of Peace. Okay, at 7:30.